Hi guys, the greatest threat to the Labour Party and the Labour government doesn't actually come from reform, doesn't come from the Greens, doesn't come from Jeremy Corbyn's new party. It actually comes from within, and I'm talking about Blue Labour, the socially conservative wing of the Labour Party. They have been pushing for lower immigration, they've been pushing for Brexit, and one of their founders, Maurice Glasman, was interviewed by Times Radio about Keir Starmer. And have a listen to what he had to say.
I mean, the Conservatives are now... Remember, they won a huge majority in 2019, and now they're like ghosts. They speak, but we don't hear. They live amongst us, but we don't see them. Unless Labour can move in order to represent the logic of this new era, reconnect with the completely legitimate concerns of working class people, it will go the same way. And the tragedy, you say it's farce. I think history repeats itself, first as farce and then as tragedy. I think New Labour was something of a farce, and now Keir Starmer is a genuinely tragic figure in that he leads a government where the party itself is still committed to all the holy grail of progressivism, globalisation, multilateralism. The future is bilateral. We've got to really double down on the relationship with Ukraine. I've been to Ukraine 15 times since the war started. They are doing incredible inventions in terms of military technology, in terms of drones, in terms of sea drones, in terms of missiles. We've got to partner up with Ukraine, reindustrialize, do that on the back of the renewal of the armed forces, secure our borders. I mean, they've got drones in Ukraine, when I was there, that could target every boat. I mean, on that issue, they just turn back. We've got to recognise the logic of Brexit, which is an antagonistic relationship with France. They have to control their own border. And if they can't control their border, we're going to have to. These are the ways in which Labour can truly be itself. What I'm saying is I'm just reconnecting with the absolute mainstream of Labour history here.
So Labour's history, Labour's position should be, according to Blue Labour, welcoming Brexit, doubling down on Brexit and focusing on immigration, and even using drones to take out boats, it seems, in the Channel. So they need to be more like Reform UK. Labour needs to be like Reform. This is the message coming from Blue Labour. This is what I'm talking about. These are the people who are instructing Keir Starmer to double down on immigration and avoid things like the NHS or the cost of living, because they don't think that they're important. They actually think that the priorities of ordinary people are not important. They think the priorities are immigration and Brexit. No, the priorities are the cost of living, the NHS, jobs, infrastructure, rebuilding the economy. These are the things that the public want the government to focus on. Yes, immigration is an issue, but Labour cannot win on that issue in the same way as the Conservatives couldn't win on immigration. The Conservatives thought they could out-Farage, and we saw what happened. This is exactly the same advice that's been given, that was gave to the Conservatives, that's been given to the Labour Party, given to the Labour leader. You need to copy and paste the Tory policy when it came to dealing with immigration. Try and out-Farage. Be tougher on immigration. It didn't work. You can't outbid Farage. All Farage has to say is, I will bring the boats down to zero. I will bring immigration down to zero. That's all he has to do. And a significant portion of the population will go with that, because they hear the Tories saying we'll bring it down and they failed. They've heard the Labour Party say we're going to smash the gangs or stop the boats, and they'll fail. Because of what the policies that they're putting in place will not work. They're not designed to work. So Labour will fail on this issue. So why the heck would Labour continually talk about this issue? Why would they double down on this issue? Why not do something that will actually improve people's lives? And as I keep saying, people vote based on how happy they are with the current government, with their current situation. If people feel better off under Labour, they will vote for Labour. That's it. People were not happy with the Conservatives. Partygate and Liz Truss caused significant damage to the Conservative Party. But the driving force was, we're tired of these people. We don't feel better off. We feel worse off under the Conservatives, and we want to try something new. And they voted in the Labour Party. Not because they supported their policies so much, but they wanted change. And if they don't get change, if they don't see change in a positive way, they're going to look for someone else. And talking about immigration or stopping the boats or Brexit is a distraction. You need to focus on the priorities of people. And the first priority is the cost of living crisis. That's what people feel most. Many people don't care about immigration. They don't feel immigration. They feel the pound in their pocket, and they feel it getting smaller and smaller by the day. And Labour need to turn that around. They need to introduce policies, measures that will improve people's lives, and they also have to communicate that. And people like Blue Labour are dragging Labour in the wrong direction. They wanted to prioritise things that Labour will lose on. And I can guarantee you, if Labour do lose the next election, the likes of this guy and Blue Labour will say, I see, you weren't conservative enough. You weren't hard enough on immigration. That's why you lost. Now you need to put in somebody who's far right, somebody to the right of Nigel Farage. That's how we'll win back power. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.